everyone, this is Rich, and I'm going to show you how to record your own podcasts with totally free software, and how to do it so you can get the file size correct also, because they're kind of huge when you first get your MP3s. So I'm going to show you what to do in order to get them to a reasonable size and what software to use. We're going to use a piece of software called Audacity. The website address is audacity.sourceforge.net. And even though I already had it in here, I wanted to type it out for you so you know it's AUDACITY. It's a free cross-platform, meaning multiple operating system, sound editor. Most of us are using Windows out there, so you just hit download Audacity for Windows, and then this is the one that you want, the Audacity 1.26 installer. And in a second, I'm going to show you what happens when we install it. Okay, I have successfully downloaded the file, so I'm going to double click it. Welcome to Audacity setup. Next, we have an agreement. We should read the agreement. We're assuming that we did. We accept. Click next. It's going to give you some information about what it's going to do. And actually, it's not what it's going to do, but something about the developers and contributors. There's a lot of people that actually contributed to this, so we thank you guys. Thank you so much for bringing this software to us. Click next. It'll tell you where it's going to put it. Program files, Audacity. Next. It'll ask you if you want to create an icon. Sure. And associate Audacity project files. Yes. So we have those checked. Next. It's going to give a confirmation of where it's going to go and the tasks it's going to do. Install. There it goes. It goes that fast. The software is not that big. So we're going to go ahead and launch Audacity, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, now we are in Audacity. Audacity is purposely designed to be one of the easiest possible softwares you could ever use. To choose the device that you want, you just have a drop-down menu here. On your computer, this may look different because some people have different audio devices, but most of us have it so it looks something like this. By default, it's the microphone. That's what you want to use. When you're recording podcasts, it is suggested that you're doing like what I'm doing right now. Although you can't see it, I am wearing a headset with a microphone attached to it. If you're using a webcam microphone, you may get what's called bongy noises, or you hear a lot of room noise. Best thing around that is to just get a microphone on a headset, and that solves that problem. All you have to do from there is just hit record. Blah 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 blah. You see it as I'm talking, it's appearing here, and up here on the top right you can actually see the level jumping around, and you can adjust it if you want to. But then we go blah 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 blah, and then when we're done, stop, rewind, playback, record. Blah 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 blah. And you hear me talking right there. As I'm talking, it's appearing here, and up. It is literally that simple. And then afterwards, what we're going to do is save the file. So we can save the project, but we don't want to touch the project. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. We'll just export as MP3 because that's what we want. And it's going to ask you where to put it. I'm just going to hit desktop here and put it on the desktop and call it blah blah blah. Save. It says Audacity does not export MP3 files directly, but instead uses the freely available LAME library to handle MP3 file encoding. You must obtain LAME ENC DLL separately. Would you like to locate it now? Small little interruption here. You may need to get what's called the LAME encoder. And yes, it is actually called LAME, L-A-M-E. If you need to get it for Windows, go to LAME, let me go up here first, lame.sourceforge.net, and then go to LAME links. And what you want to do is click the link for Windows, and then what I found works really well is Razor LAME. We click that, go to that website, go to the download link, and hit it and install it. If you get prompted to install the LAME, this is what you need to get. Go ahead and download it. It will put in the appropriate DLL, and then you can export MP3s properly. And now back to our program. Okay, it's saying that Audacity does not export MP3 files directly, but instead uses the freely available LAME library. Well, I've already installed LAME, so I know where this is, and now I'll tell you where it is. We'll say yes. It's on your C drive, and then in Program Files, and then directory called LAME, and there it is. We'll click Open. And then ID3s is if you want to put any ID3 tags for it. You can put in version 1s or version 2s. More popular players like the iTunes and the QuickTime, they all use V2s. They recognize V1s too, but I'm just going to call this blah 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 artist me album don't got one, track number 1, year 2007, genre, I think there's one here for talk. Maybe not. Well, I'll just pick blues, doesn't matter really. I don't have to put in comments, and hit OK. And it saved it. And that's it. And now let's take a look at what we got. Put it on my desktop, blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah. You see it as I'm talking, it's appearing here.
Sounds pretty good to me. Oh, let me play that again and watch that it's actually. See, it's 128 by 44.
Blah blah blah. You see it.
128 by 44 stereo is that's 128 kilobits per second at 44.1 kilohertz. If we want to change that, we're going to go to the preferences, and I'll show you that in a second. Go Edit, Preferences, and then we're going to go to Quality. You can change this. What's more important is that we change the file format. The bit rate is what we want to pay attention to. If we wanted to go something which is essentially about the quality of AM radio, you can go to 11025 with the default sample rate, and then change the bit rate to 24, or you can go to 16. 24 is pretty good for that. And if it's a little too crappy, you could set this up to 22050, and then 24 and 24 will work. And that's basically it. And then you will have an MP3 that you can send out to your podcast service or on your website or anything like that. And that's how to do it.